Hello there. Here is my simple presentation of Rurouni Kenshin. To begin with, Rurouni Kenshin, also known sometimes as Samurai X in the TV show, is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Nobuhiro Watsuki. The story begins during the 11th year of the Meiji period in Japan and follows a former assassin from the Bakumatsu, known as Hidekiri Badosai. Here are some of the characters of Rurouni Kenshin. Kenshin Himura. Himura Kenshin, known as the legendary Hidekiri of the Meiji Revolution, Himura Badosai, is the main protagonist and titular character of the Rurouni Kenshin series. Kenshin has spent 10 years traveling Japan as a wanderer in search of redemption, carrying a reverse-edged sword with the vow to never kill again. In 1878, he arrives in Tokyo and takes up residence at the Kamiya Dojo, where his vow is tested as he fights to keep the country's peace. Soft-spoken, serene and humble, Himura Kenshin's usual demeanor suits his effeminate appearance perfectly. But when his strength as a Rurouni is insufficient to defend against a particularly threatening foe, or when the most depraved and horrendous acts of evil push him to his patience and limits of his moral indignation, Kenshin's restraint falters and his personality reverts to that of his days as the Hidekiri Badosai. Kaoru Kamiya. Himura Kaoru is the young proprietor and acting instructor of the Kamiya Kashin Kenjutsu Dojo in Tokyo and the female lead of the Rurouni Kenshin series. She has become the motivating factor of Kenshin and slowly becoming the love interest and eventually becomes the wife of Kenshin and the mother of Kenji Himura. Kaoru is a strong-willed person with all the pride and strength of her samurai lineage and, as such, is often quite a force to be reckoned with. Fiercely independent, she will gladly put her blood, sweat, tears and even life on the line in order to protect her father's legacy, her hard-earned belongings, and her precious friends with her own hands. Kaoru also has a fiery and violent temper which she displays without restraint when she feels that she has been slighted or insulted, often flying into a wild frenzy if her first blow does not settle the matter. Though some may call her naive for sticking to such a credo while surrounded by more selfish people in such trying times, her sense of duty and honor will not let her give up under any circumstances. Sanosuke Sagara. Sagara Sanosuke, born Higashidani Sanosuke, is a main character in the Rurouni Kenshin series. A former member of the disgraced Sekiho Trooper. Straightforward and brash, Sanosuke presents a rather complex set of morals despite his relatively simple demeanor. Not particularly occupied with whether a person aligns with good or bad, he instead places importance on whether or not people are honest with themselves or others. Though usually displaying a demeanor somewhere between sardonically jovial and bored, Sanosuke is described by those close to him as having a temperament like fire. A fire that smolders with the losses of his past in times of quietude but comes fully aflame when his fists itch for combat. After coming into contact with Himura Kenshin and the group at the Kamiya Dojo, however, Sanosuke has begun to see a deeper path through life. Yahiko Myojin. Myojin Yahiko was the only son of a low-ranking samurai family but was orphaned during the early years of the Meiji era when his already low-income family fell on hard times. Having no one else to turn to, Yahiko was made a pickpocket in the Tanashi Yakuza, to whom his late parents owed a considerable sum of money. However, young Yahiko met and was rescued by the swordsman Himura Kenshin, who freed him from his debt to Tanashi and brought him to live at the Kamiya Dojo, where the boy could hone his strength and restore his pride by studying Kenjutsu. Even at the tender age of 10, Yahiko is a short-tempered, violent, bad-mannered and foul-mouthed young man. But, above all else, he is proud of his samurai lineage. Despite his rude countenance and admittedly limited intelligence, Yahiko is also quite astute, being able to see inconsistencies and discrepancies in the words and actions of other people and point them out bluntly. Hajime Saito. Saito Hajime is the former captain of the 3rd Unit of the Shinsengumi, a manslayer, and currently a special agent for the Meiji government's Department of Internal Affairs. Saito has had a long-time rivalry with Himura Kenshin, a former manslayer of the imperialist cause. He believes in peace and order, even in the society created by his former enemies. Though he is normally serious, Saito has a slight sense of humor that is morbid and slightly sadistic. Aoshi Shinomori. Shinomori Aoshi is the genius young leader of the Oniwa Banshu Onmitsu. He became the leader of the Oniwa Banshu at the age of 15 on the recommendation of Okina. Known to his followers as the Okashira, Aoshi's skills in combat, stealth and reconnaissance are the best. At first glance, Shinomori Aoshi appears cold and emotionless. He bears a calculating nature that shows itself in his high observational intelligence, a reticence to say more than is necessary and a demeanor that rarely shows emotion. He rarely smiles except when smirking with confidence to intimidate in his supreme combat and tactical abilities. Megumi Takani. Takani Megumi is the primary physician in Rurouni Kenshin series. Born into a prominent and dedicated family of doctors in the province of Izu, Megumi was left alone after the death of her father and the disappearance of her mother and older brothers. After becoming a medically proficient in her own right, she became the assistant of a doctor secretly making drugs for the industrialist Takeda Konryu. Attempting to escape, Megumi was tailed by Konryu's men and fled to the protection of Himura Kenshin and the Kamiya Dojo. Megumi is known to act flirtatious around men she is attracted to, such as Kenshin. Due to this, Sanosuke and Kaoru call her a fox lady. However, when the situation becomes serious, she casts aside her playful personality and puts all her focus on the task at hand, as seen when treating her patients. There you have it. Some of the characters of Rurouni Kenshin. Thank you for watching.